Hello and welcome to Happy Handicrafts. My name is Joanna and today we're going to be making a Paper Sloyd key tag. This is the first model for the second year from the book Paper Sloyd for Primary Grades. Now if you're a homeschooling group or family and you've been following along our series, be sure to finish that first year first. It definitely makes a difference. The second year tends to get a lot more complex. Instead of using paper and scissors, we're going to be using a much thicker cardstock, as well as an X-Acto knife and cutting mat. And let me just say this before you get started: if you're younger and you've never used an X-Acto knife before, please check with your parents to make sure that you know how to use it safely. And as well, before we get started, would you mind just taking a moment and hitting the subscribe button? It means a lot to us and it will keep you informed of each time we post a new video. So let's get started. The materials you're going to need for this project are first the book, Paper Sloyd by Primary Grades by Ednah Anne Rich. You will definitely find it useful because of the diagrams as well as the instructions. You're also going to need a cutting mat. Don't skip this, it is vital to your project. As well, you'll need an X-Acto knife, a ruler, a pencil, a hole punch, some yarn or string, and some good, strong cardstock. Now, the first thing we're going to do is to create a rectangle that's 2 inches by 3.5 inches. So we're going to start by measuring in from the left 3.5 inches and drawing a dot. Then move the ruler down just a little bit and measure in again 3.5 inches and draw a dot. Then using the ruler, I'm going to have you join those 2 dots with a line. Next, you want to measure down from the top. Start on the left and you're going to measure down 2 inches. Draw a little dot to mark your spot. Then move the ruler into your 3.5 inch line. Measure down 2 inches again and draw a dot. Once again, using your ruler, join those 2 dots. You're now going to cut this rectangle out using your X-Acto knife. We're using the ruler along the edge that has a metal piece. We found that if we didn't do this, we actually cut the ruler. So watch your fingers, keep them away from the knife, and cut firmly along the lines that you drew. For us, it's easier to cut towards us, so reposition the paper however you feel is most comfortable to cut. When you're done, separate your rectangle from the rest of the paper. You're then going to measure and draw dots at the top and the bottom at the 3-inch mark. So measure in at the top 3 inches and draw a dot right on the edge. Then measure at the bottom in 3 inches from the left and draw a dot again at 3 inches. Then holding the ruler on the dot, measure to the middle of your rectangle which is right at the 1 inch mark. This is where your hole is going to be, so just draw a little circle. Next, you're going to place dots along the right edge at 1/2 inch. And put it right along the edge. And then measure at 1.5 inches and draw a dot. You're then going to use your ruler to draw a line between the 1.5 inch and the 3 inch mark on the bottom . And then at the 1/2 inch and the 3 inch mark at the top. Once you're done that, you're going to use your X-Acto knife to cut off those corners. Next, you're going to use the hole punch to punch a hole through your 1 inch dot. You're going to run some string, thread, or we're going to use yarn through that hole. Now, Clark is a crocheter, so he's going to use a crochet hook to pull this yarn through the hole. This makes it so much easier. He's then going to run the 2 ends through the loop and pull it tight, and there we have a nice knot. We tied the other end in a knot and splayed the ends a little bit to make it a little nicer. And then we decorated it, and that's our final project. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for hanging out with us today. Let us know if you enjoyed it by clicking the like button, leaving a comment, or sharing it with friends. And we'll see you in the next video.